Welcome back. This is Mortgage Sensei here. Today we're going to be discussing VA loans. Again, this is just a crash course in regards to VA loans. Let's dive right into it. So first things first, what is a VA loan? A VA loan is through the Veterans Administration, is a loan designed for people in the military or veterans, right? If you're not in the military serving with enough hours, or if you're not a veteran that has served with enough days, then you're not going to be eligible for a VA loan. Now, the next question: why? Why would you want to go with a VA loan? In my opinion, hands down, the VA loan is the best loan program. Hands down, best loan program out there. It has the most favorable rates, most favorable terms, and most favorable conditions when it comes to making your payments and qualifying for a home loan. Now, let's talk about how. Okay, how can I go about getting a VA loan? The first thing is you have to be eligible. Okay. Now, I know we discussed that you got to be serving in the military or, you have to be a veteran, but you have to have served a number of days or time frame served with the military in order to be eligible for a VA loan. The most simplistic way, without going into a whole lot of detail, is just simply obtain your VA certificate of eligibility, right? You can obtain this by getting into contact with a professional like myself. We have ways of going about getting this from the VA, maybe with your assistance of providing a DD 214, or your NGB for those that's in the National Reserve. But you provide your papers from the VA for the military, and we can utilize this with submitting it over to the Veterans Administration in order to figure out, what is your entitlement. Whether you'll be full entitlement, partial entitlement, but we'll be able to determine whether you'll be eligible for VA loans and then go over the details of what you actually qualify for. Now, next thing, let's talk about credit. Okay, let's talk about credit. Now, when it comes to credit, again, depending on the lender in which you're working with, not all lenders are the same, right? Some lenders have overlays. These are additional restrictions that the lender place based off of risk or what they're comfortable with doing business in when it comes to loan versus what the VA says, hey, we'll do this. And the lender say, hey, I know you'll do this and you'll take this VA, but we don't feel comfortable doing this and these type of transactions with this much risk. So technically, when it comes to a VA loan, technically you can have a credit score as low as a 550 credit score. That's personally what I am able to do as a mortgage broker. Now, your sweet spot, okay? Your sweet spot is a 620 or more credit score. That's your sweet spot. That's really what you're looking for. That'll get you some favorable rates and pricing compared to, if you're down to a 550, yeah, you may be able to get into a house, but you're probably going to be paid some amount of discount points. Again, that's prepaid interest or additional charges on your loan in order for you to obtain the rate or obtain the loan in order to close on your home. Now, the next thing when it comes to credit, the VA is really, really particular about what has happened within the last 2 years, right? So we're going to break this down. We're going to first talk about derogatory accounts. So derogatory accounts are like late payments, collections, charge-offs, stuff like that. Not the major stuff, but you missed a payment, you got a new collection, stuff like that. Now, when we're talking about derogatory, right? The VA is really looking for no derogatory accounts within the last 12 months, right? Within your last 12 months of you submitting your file, ideally to the underwriter, right? Or you going on the contract to be a little bit more specific. You don't want any late payments. You don't want any new open collections, new open charge-offs, any new or current past due balance or anything along those lines. You want to be squeaky clean for the last 12 months when it comes to that. Now, when you talk about major derogatory accounts, right? Major derogatory accounts are like bankruptcies and your foreclosures, your short sales, your deed in lieu, stuff like that, right? Technically, again, it's all contingent on the lender, but technically, a minimum 2 years from the discharge or the final action date when it comes to bankruptcies, foreclosures, deed in lieu, so on and so forth, right? If you are in, for those that's currently in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, right? You can still qualify if you're in that bankruptcy, provided that you have made on-time payments in the last 12 months. Okay. So just for those out there that do have a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, you need at least 1 year of you making on-time payments. Same scenario here. No late payments, no new collections, no nothing like that within the last 12 months, and on-time monthly payments within the last 12 months as well. Okay. Now that's just again, this is just a crash course just to get you caught up real fast, real familiar when it comes to VA loans. So that's credit. Next thing let's talk about, right? Debt to income ratio, right? Now the VA, out of any other program, like I said, it is the most favorable when it comes to helping people qualify to get into a home loan. With a VA loan, you can go up to a 65% debt to income ratio, okay? Now, keep in mind risk assessment, right? You don't want a super high debt to income ratio and a super low credit, right? Even though you can possibly go up to 65%, if your credit score is down to here or, under that 640 mark, under that 660 mark, maybe even 680, depending on the bank or the lender in which you're working with, you're probably not going to get that 65%. And some lenders probably say, hey, again, VA says we can go up to 65% debt to income ratio. I'm not comfortable with that. We're capping that at 50%, 55%, whatever the case may be. So choosing your lender, choosing your bank is very important, or your loan originator. But brokers are better because we have the leniency when it comes to sticking closer to those guidelines without adding extra restrictions or lender overlays. Now, let's talk about the next section, which is going to be funds. Okay, funds. Again, we're only talking about down payment. Each person is going to be different according to the area in which you're purchasing your home. Your title cost is going to be different. Your escrow is going to be different based off of the home, the location, the size, the amount, the approved value, so on and so forth, right? But when it comes to a VA loan, the down payment, there's no down payment whatsoever, right? You can put down money if you want, but even at a 550 credit score, no down payment with a VA. That's why I say by far best loan program out there when it comes to getting a home loan. Next thing, let's talk about property type, right? Property type. Okay. Property type. Property type you can get is single family residence, condos, townhouses, you can go up to 4 units, depending on, the lender that you're dealing with. Most of the time, you just want to stick with a 1 unit single family residence home. You can do manufactured homes, you can do modular homes. Again, it depends on the lender. Not a lot of lenders out there like doing manufactured homes in general, but it is something that you can definitely do. So that's just a crash course again when it comes to VA loans. If you have more questions, if you want a breakdown, if you want to hone in on anything specific, please first subscribe, like, hit the little bell. That way you'll get notifications when I put up new videos. Drop comments in there. Hey, Nelson, here's a scenario. Hey, Nelson, can you talk about this, right? There's a lot of programs. There's a lot of information that I'm going to be covering as we go forward, jam-packed. But going from here, right, the next thing we're going to be discussing, next video is going to be dealing with the USDA loan. Check the description below. There's going to be a link for you to submit an inquiry. That way you can get in contact with me and we can discuss your personal financial situation a little bit more in depth. There's going to be a link to my book, How to Buy a Home with a Loan. That will be pending soon, so be on the lookout. That descriptions on all of my videos will be updated accordingly. Also, check out my website. Please check out my website. Also at the bottom, we're going to include my Facebook page. That way you can join and be a part of that so we can grow the community. But I have a lot of wealth of information here. It's all going to be based off of, your situation, what's going on. Just ask me questions. I've been doing it for 10 years, and that's what I'm here for. But I wish you all the best. I'll see you on the other side of home ownership, and Mortgage Sensei out.